Hello folks, I'm Clay with Creature Craft Rescue Craft, and I'm here today to give you an example and give you some education as to the inflation sequence for a Creature Craft rescue raft. Alright, here we have our boat in this bag. First thing I'm going to do is open this bag up. Here's our boat. Take the strap off. We keep it with the bag, and we're done with this for right now. So as you see here in the background, we have a boat that's already inflated, and we want to blow up the front and the back cross tubes first. Alright, now that we're at this point, we're going to take just a second and talk about why we did this. The reason we inflate the front and the back is because the way the boat is built. These tubes have mitered connections where we want to fit around the front and the back cross tubes. So what we're going to do is top these front and back cross tubes off. When I say top off, I mean bring up to total operation pressure. We're using a 2-stage blower, so you can hear the change in the pitch as we put more pressure in the front and the back tubes. Now we have the front and the back cross tubes inflated, and we're going to start working on the body. The body's important because that's what we float on most of the time. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start inflating from the back and then go to the front. The reason being is that here in the middle of the boat, you'll see this line in the fabric. That's a baffle. Alright, so it's a little extra material inside of the boat that moves frontwards and backwards and allows the tubes to equalize pressure a little bit. We don't want that all the way to the back, and we don't want that all the way to the front. We want it floating somewhere in the middle. So what I'm going to do is blow the back chamber up, and you'll see it kind of extend a little bit from this line, and then I'm going to move to the front, pressurize that chamber, and push it back. Alright, so you may notice that I did exactly the opposite of what I told you I was going to. This is the back of the boat, and this is the front. So I'm going to spin the boat around to it one more time to show you how to do it correctly. So like I said, what we really want to do is just make sure that baffle's somewhere in the middle, not pushed all the way to the back, not pulled all the way to the front, just floating so that if you lose a chamber, you don't dump a lot of pressure into that one existing chamber. All right, now that the body of our boat's inflated, we're moving on to the top, all right? So order of inflation is real important because we talked about the way the joints are created. You want to always inflate your cross tubes, the tubes that are perpendicular to the boat first. So our next step is going to be these top cross tubes right here, and we'll go ahead and inflate those all the way to pressure. All right, now that we have the body of our boat inflated and our top cross tubes here, it's time to inflate the peak legs. Peak legs are what makes the roll cage possible. A lot of times the folks make a mistake topping their peak legs off too much, which puts undue stresses and torment on the boat. So what we're gonna do is just top those off to the first stage of inflation so that they're tight and they're stiff, but still have a little flex to them. Well, we're inflated. Looks like we have a boat. Put together a couple things we're going to wrap up with here. So how are we putting air in the boat? We're using these valves, all right? These valves are real easy. Push in, turn counterclockwise to open, that lets the air out of the boat. Push in, turn clockwise to close, and that holds the air in the boat. What I'm going to do before I put all the valve caps back on is I'm going to go around and make sure I have the perfect operating pressure in my boat. And there we have a boat inflated. If you're unsure about the knee tests, please check with your owner's manual and use your PSI gauge. Thanks, have a good day. From beautiful Illinois, on the road, I'm Clay with Creature Craft.